The Primarch saw disappointment in Bran's expression, read the desire to argue further in his eyes. Ephrenia's expression was guarded, but he saw agreement. It was useful to have a touchstone like her. Brave, clever, but unaugmented. Mortal, a human perspective. The corners of her mouth were turned down slightly, her jaw tight. She would say nothing, she was too worried, and she had cause to be. This is not a battle we can win. He could still picture Bran as the headstrong teenager that had been at the forefront of the revolt on Deliverance. The Raven Guard were Corax's gene sons, but some of them, like Bran, were akin to his brothers. He laid a hand on the commander's shoulder. There may come a time when we have no option, when the battle itself, the last chance to fight, is the only victory we seek. Not today. Where do we run? Asked Bran, resignation in his voice. Our scouting parties and the librarians are reporting that more and more traitors are entering the surrounding sectors. The War Master moves his forces into the Segmentum Solar. It is true. There is a gathering, a growing momentum. We are reaching a tipping point, the moment of decision. Corax looked away to stare at nothing in particular. In his mind's eye, he pictured the star map extending a few hundred light years around Dexius. Horus is going to assault Earth. He must strike soon. We've seen his forces scattering, dissipating, commanders going rogue, planets slipping from his grasp with the lightest of encouragement. I think he knows that he must make his push now, or lose the opportunity forever. So we return to Terra. Bran's smile was more wry than humid. It is time to stand up on a war with the Sons of Dawn and meet the traitors head-on. Not so, Commander. Corax moved to his command throne and activated one of the controls. A three-dimensional representation of the surrounding sectors glittered into life. He manipulated the hololith, its scope expanding as though the observer drew a few thousand light years further away. The navigators reported a decrease in the warp storms, and the librarians say that it is as if a tide has shifted. I think it would be possible to break out from under the weight of Horus's incoming fleets and move beyond them. We continue the guerrilla war. You sound doubtful, Commander. If Horus is going to press for Terra, I don't think he is going to care about the systems he leaves behind. The Imperial Palace is the prize. Once he has it, he can reclaim as many worlds as he wants. A second, and much darker crusade. If we were to continue as we were, that would be true. But we will not. I will reassemble the Legion in full, and such auxilia that remain to be drawn to my banner. A fighting force that must be contended against. Corax stroked his chin, contemplating the idea. We'll find the War Master himself. Stay close to his Legion all the way to the solar system. Horus won't be able to ignore a dagger aimed directly at his back. Bran nodded, his eyes filled with a fresh enthusiasm. Bran Neve served as a member of the Raven Guard Legion during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. The biological brother of the revered commander Agapito Neve. These rebels, drawn from the labor prisons of Lycaeus, aided their Primarch Corvus Corax in emancipating the people of the Moon of Kievar. Instrumental in establishing the newly renamed Deliverance as the new fiefdom of the Raven Guard. With the arrival of the Master of Mankind to their domains, both Neve brothers would succeed in their trials to become a Space Marine and serve as among the Raven Lord's foremost capable lieutenants, in deference to a single First Captain. Ordered by his Primarch to defend Deliverance as the Loyalist coalition of the Iron Hands, Salamanders, and Raven Guard pushed on to the Istvan system, Bran watched his kin set out to bring justice to the fledgling rebellion of Horus Lupercal as unease grew within his heart. Against the Raven Lord's judgment, Bran aboard his battle barge, Avenger, set out to the Istvan system following weeks of no communication, the visions of death foreseen by the commander of the Therion cohort, Marcus Valerius, galvanizing his decision. Rescuing his Primarch from the devastation of the killing fields of Istvan V, Bran's timely deployment of 1,000 Astartes fended off the aggression of the World Eaters, as their savage Primarch, Angron, sought to claim the skull of the Raven Lord. Extracting 3,000 men from the killing fields of the Dropside Massacre, the Red Angel's bloodlust would be denied. Bran's valor rewarded by Corax with his promotion to the commander of recruits, as their beleaguered forces made all haste for the Throne World. Corvus seeking guidance personally from the Emperor with the heresy of the War Master revealed. His entrusting with the location of the Labyrinth, which housed genomes of all the Primarchs, would prove invaluable. Raising a new generation of Raven Guard Astartes, using such genetic materials to rapidly replenish their much diminished numbers in this time of devastating war, Bronn's comment of these new Raptors would be cemented as their new designation. Placed in charge of the Raptors, as his brother commanded the Talons Tactical Company, alongside Captain Neuron Tesk's Hawks and Captain Aloni Teeves' Falcons, these Astartes proved extremely capable replacements for their fallen kin. Defending the fortress monastery of Ravendelve from an Alpha Legion insurgents, though Bronn and his brother failed to prevent Alfarius from stealing the Magna Mater, their shrewd assessment of the Hydra prevented devastating losses. Witnessing the deformed visage of his Raptors due to the meddling of the Alpha Legion, Bronn would regardless not allow any more Raven Guard to die needlessly, as more losses wrought by the War Master's malice. Saving the life of Tecmarine Apena from the clutches of Fabius Bile within his Nadrazi's experimental facility, Bronn's Raptors company liberated the complex from Bile's Tirata enhanced warriors, despite losing 2 of his now mutated soldiers during the crossfire. Present during the Battle of Constanix II, fighting elements of the Dark Mechanicus, Corax, Bronn, and Agapito orchestrated an infiltration of the city of Atlas, allowing for Titan support to ensure victory, and silencing of the traitor Magos, Delver. Aiding the Space Wolves Legion during the Battle of Yarant following the Wolf King's wounding by the War Master during the Battle of Tressolian, the Raven Guard rallied within the Rosario system before striking the traitor forces under advisement of Praefector Marcus Valerius. Combating Sons of Horus, World Eaters, and Thousand Sons Astartes, led by First Captain Ezekiel Abaddon, Bronn and his men supported the Rout fleet, commanded by Björn the Fell-Handed. Fragmenting the traitor blockade of Voidcraft, Corax briefly met with the wounded Leman Russ, convincing Björn to abandon his stubborn defense of Yarant Free, as the Raven Guard resolved to continue to harry the War Master's advance to Terra. Acceding to his Primarch's decision, though Bran hoped to return to the Throne World to aid in its defense, it is undisputable that without the efforts of Bran Neve, the Raven Guard would have dwindled to the point of extinction.